Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Cohen, let me start with you. I think I'm going to ask a few questions. I think these are yes or no or I don't know questions. Last 3 years, unfortunately, the United States economy has experienced substantial inflation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
that inflation is man-made, is it not?
Any inflation is man-made, sir.
And that man's name is Joe Biden, is it not?
Cannot answer that, sir.
Okay. Since President Biden took office, average electricity prices in the United States are up 29.4%, are they not?
I'll have to check the data and get back to you on that, sir.
And isn't it true that electricity prices have increased under President Biden, have increased 13 times faster than the previous 7 years?
Hey, folks. Welcome back to the channel where truth still matters, common sense still exists, and we don't apologize for loving this great country, the United States of America. Now, today, I want to break down one of the most satisfying, eye-opening, and frankly embarrassing moments for the radical left that I've seen in a long time. I'm talking about a Senate hearing where Senator John Kennedy, God bless, that man absolutely grills two so-called experts over their economic and ideological positions. The video's titled, did I read that correctly? John Kennedy does not let up on witness over ties to radical group. And let me tell you, he didn't just not let up, he tore through the smoke and mirrors with the precision of a truth-seeking missile. Let's start with Dr. Cohen, the economist. Kennedy opens up with a simple, factual question. Has the U.S. faced substantial inflation over the last 3 years? And what does Cohen say? Yes, sir. So far, so good. Then Kennedy drops the hammer. That inflation is man-made, is it not? And Cohen again agrees. But when Kennedy suggests the obvious that Joe Biden is the man responsible suddenly, Cohen can't seem to find his voice. I cannot answer that, he says. Really? Come on, Doc. See, this is what the left does. They acknowledge a disaster, but they won't hold their own accountable.
I'll have to check the data, sir.
Okay. And the National Energy Assistant Directors Association. I don't know if you're familiar with them. I've checked them out. They're a reputable group. They say that the average United States electricity bill will go up 10% this year and 10% next year. Is that correct?
Again, I'm not familiar with the data, but I can point out, sir, that in Europe,
I'm not interested in
in Europe, prices are 2.5% to 3% higher.
I'm interested in our people right now who are having to,
Our people have,
who are having to sell blood in order to pay their electricity bill.
goodness.
A substantial portion of this inflation in electricity, up 30% since President Biden took office, is directly related to his energy policies. Is it not?
Energy prices fluctuate based on supply and demand of all sources of energy, yes.
I think it has nothing. Is that a yes or no?
It's a very complicated economic
I
question.
understand. Give me an answer. Did President Biden's policies contribute to the inflation or didn't they?
Both Republican and Democratic administrations infuse the economy with trillions of dollars, which contributes to the inflation, yes.
I don't believe any Republicans voted for the Inflation Reduction Act. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Well, I do. $1.2 trillion, Green New Deal. No Republicans voted for it. You want to amend your answer?
I'll amend my answer that under President Trump and under President Biden, trillions of dollars were infused into the economy
under Trump,
and contributed to
up 5%
inflation.
over 4 years, and under Biden, they went up 30% over 3 years. Which is better?
Say again, under Trump, please?
Under Trump, electricity prices went up 5%. Under Biden, they went up 30% over 3 years. Which is better?
Clearly, lower rise in electricity prices better.
All right.
However,
Dr. Supran, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
You're here at the request of my Democratic colleagues?
No, sir.
No, Dr. Supran.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Dr. Supran, on December 14, 2023, you tweeted in support of climate defiance. That's an entity that the Brookings Institute has called a radical climate change group. Is that correct?
I don't recall, I'm afraid.
Okay, would this be the same Climate Defiance that I'm looking at your tweet, you tweeted in support of them. Would this be the same Climate Defiance that called Senator Joe Biden, quote, a sick fuck?
I don't know, but as I
Would this
mentioned
be the same Climate Defiance that called Senator Lisa Murkowski a murderer?
I do not know. As I said in my statement...
Would this be the same Climate Defiance who told the CEO of Exxon to, quote, eat shit, Darren, close quote?
I'm not responsible for the statements of other
Nice
people.
group you're
and I also
hanging
do not know
around
the
with,
answer.
Doc. Here's what your tweet says, quote, we do, in support of Climate Defiance, we do not do online petitions. We do not do NGO coalition letters. We do not do fucking bus stop ads. We chase fossil fuel CEOs and the politicians who do their bidding, and we do not apologize, close quote. Did I read that correctly?
That is not my tweet, sir.
That is your tweet. I'm looking at it.
Visited.
Here's a copy right here. It's right off your website, Biggest Dallas. On
I'm almost
October
certain that is not
31,
my tweet, sir.
2023, you said this on Twitter. Quote, climate justice was coined by our movements to locate it as a struggle against genocidal racial injustice, colonialism, and apartheid. If your climate justice doesn't stand with the Palestinians against colonialism and apartheid, then your climate justice has no justice in it, close quote. Did you say that?
I believe not.
Here it is,
may
Dallas.
I please see the documents?
Yes, sir, and the witnesses' documents there.
May I please
And the
point out that
senators,
this form
the
of...
senator's time has expired, and there are other senators waiting.
I've got a bunch more tweets. Thank you for your objective advice,
I'm sure you
Doc.
do. You can put them into a question for the record, and
Yes,
they'll
I'd
have
like to
Supran
submit
reply.
all of the good doctors' objective tweets and scientific analysis for the record.
That
Thank
will
you.
be done without objection. Senator Merkley,
May I clarify one final point?
proceed.
These are not my tweets. These are retweets. It's an important
Oh, you
contradiction.
often retweet stuff you don't support? Is that what you're telling me, Doc?
I did not say that I don't support this. I simply did not tweet it, which, as you were
But you
alleging.
retweeted them,
I'd like
didn't
to
you?
make very clear that this
But
form
you
of character
retweeted them,
assassination
didn't
is
you?
characteristic of the propaganda techniques of fossil fuel
You
interest.
retweeted
Senator
it,
Merkley.
didn't you?
Thank you.
Are you going to call me a sick fuck?
It's Senator Merkley's time.
Mr. Chairman,
Inflation didn't just happen. It wasn't a natural disaster. It was a direct result of Bidenomics' trillions of dollars printed, handed out, and flushed down green energy rabbit holes. And then we get into electricity prices. Under Trump, 5% increase over 4 years. Under Biden, 30% in just 3 years. That's not a coincidence. Folks, that's policy failure. That's the result of shutting down pipelines, waging war on fossil fuels, and catering to climate cultists. And when Kennedy asked Dr. Cohen if Biden's energy policies contributed to that inflation, the man squirmed like a fish on a hook. It's complicated, he says. But Kennedy, in true Louisiana fashion, wasn't having it. He demanded answers, and he got them. Even Cohen had to admit that, yes, both parties spent big, but only one party jammed through the Inflation Reduction Act without a single Republican vote. That act, by the way, is nothing but a Trojan horse for the Green New Deal. Now, folks, buckle up, because this is where things get really wild. Kennedy turns to Dr. Geoffrey Supran, a so-called climate expert, but what he's really known for, praising radical activist groups like Climate Defiance group. So extreme, even the Brookings Institute labeled him radical. Think about that. When Brookings says you're radical, you're way out there. So what does Kennedy do? He reads Supran's own tweets right back to him. Not just one or two, but a whole thread of retweets supporting a group that called Senator Joe Manchin sick, called Lisa Murkowski a murderer, and told the CEO of Exxon to eat his H. And what does Dr. Supran say? Those weren't my tweets. I just retweeted them. Excuse me? Retweets aren't endorsements? Since when? You amplify something, you own it, especially when it's consistent with your political agenda. This is the cowardice we've come to expect from the left. They want to play both sides, signal their radical base with inflammatory rhetoric, but then play innocent when someone calls them out. And when Senator Kennedy called it what was character assassination tactics, propaganda, pure toxicity, the good doctor started to melt under the heat. He couldn't say whether he stood by his retweets. He didn't disavow them. He just tried to weasel his way out with technicalities. Let me tell you something. If you support a group that harasses CEOs and slanders senators and you amplify their message, you are part of the problem. And no amount of academic letters behind your name can change that. Senator Kennedy did what every single American patriot wants to see more of in Congress. He asked straight questions, demanded straight answers, and called out the radical, out-of-touch ideologies that are destroying this country from the inside out. We are being run by people who think energy comes from unicorns and fairy dust, who think printing money won't cause inflation, and who cheer for groups that openly disrespect the very system that allows them to speak freely. But guess what? We're waking up. We're taking notes. And we're not going to sit back and let these climate cultists and academic elites lecture us while they tank our economy and divide our people. If you're tired of the lies, tired of the inflation, tired of watching America get sold out to green grifters and ideological radicals, then stand with us. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. And to Senator John Kennedy, sir, thank you for having the backbone that so many others in Washington lack. We need 100 more like you. This has been your dose of truth, common sense, and American grit. Stay strong. Stay free, and God bless the United States of America. United States. Until next time, I'm out.